Here with a group of web series creators from pretty much across the world. We have the United States here. We have Sweden.
Sweden, yes.
We have Tijuana, Mexico. And we have Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go around and ask you to introduce yourself. Just, 10 seconds, talk about who you are and what show you made and what brought you here. And then we'll get into the roundtable.
Okay, well, my name is Manuel Alejandro Anell. I come from Tijuana, Mexico. We did a series called El Porvenir, which we shot both in Tijuana and Ensenada at Valle Guadalupe. That's like a little port town. And basically our series is it's about a town that's being attacked by a monster and a serial killer at the same time. And the police are trying to solve what's going on. It's basically my thing in a nutshell.
Cool. Okay, my name is Fredrik Wagner from Sweden, and our series is The Great Dying, and it's shot in the north of Sweden, up in the mountains and all the snow. And I'm one of the leading actors in the series, and it's about a virus that happened a long time before the series starts.
Hisonni Johnson, shot and I'm from Riverside, California. I shot my series there. It's called Fight Night Legacy, screening tonight. It is about a young boxer who reached prominence but fell from grace and self-exiled himself from his hometown until he gets the news that he has cancer. And he decides to go back to see if it's worth moving forward with the treatment or just letting it take its course. So it's a very deep story. I dig it.
You dig your own story?
I dig it.
You think you're so good.
Good. Okay, so my name is Sparmberg. I'm from Hong Kong, and we did a series called Squattertown, which is basically a sort of Hong Kong version of a western set on rooftops in Hong Kong. So there are squatter villages, illegal squatter villages on rooftops, and we have a bit of knife fights and some stuff going on.
So why did you guys end up here in the city in the south of France? Who wants to go first?
Invitation.
Yes.
Yeah.
All by invite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how did you get discovered? I mean, how did you, did you submit? Did you get discovered? I mean, how did you?
Well, we got it to LA, and then in LA they picked us over to come over. I think that's me. I think you too, because you got.
Oh, you were in the light.
Yeah. It was the first festival we submitted to. We actually made Fight Night as a legit television pitch pilot, and decided that we would get more traction if we competed it as many things as possible. So we cut it into 3 parts and competed it as a web series, and shocked the heck out of ourselves by being invited to France. I'm still shocked, actually. So if I don't make sense sometimes, it's because I'm looking around and wondering.
You're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, we applied.
Making sure
same
people
thing.
are real. Wake up.
So what do you guys like about the creating content for the web? What do you guys like about the web space?
People. Like, you actually get to people. Before doing the web series, we were doing the short film circuit. And the thing about that is you go to a festival, they're big. You don't get to meet as many people, and you don't know how many people are watching you.
Right.
Or you don't know how many people are going there for you. As soon as we moved to the internet, we saw immediately how many people are watching. They get to talk to you, and it's a very different feeling. Like, you make things so that people can see them.
Yeah.
You don't just make it for like a little room of people. You make it for everyone. That's the best way to get to people.
And also about the web, I think it's an honest place to be at, because if you're screening a thing at the movies or something, people's gonna, that's a nice one. But on the web, they have to like it to watch it. Otherwise, they switch to something else, and they tell you what they think.
Yeah.
They're not going to say you're good if you're not good.
Sometimes too honest.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But on the other hand, when it's honest and it's good, then you're very happy about it. Yeah.
What do you do when it's honest and it's bad?
How do you respond? I mean, do you handle the business aspect, like the interaction with fans, and sometimes how do you respond to the not so favorable
You
feedback
measure
that's
them. Like,
received?
we measure the things that, because of the way we do it, we're limited on everything. There's things that you don't like about your own thing. So if you see some of the people that are watching it complain about things that even yourself, you're like, yeah, we don't like this.
Yeah.
And they're right. Like, we take it into account. But sometimes they tell you things that are like, have nothing to do with your show. remember this one comment was like, "Oh, what happened to Because I don't think they even understand what the web series was. They're like,
Yeah.
"What happened to Mexican cinema? Now we're doing monsters and doing things like that." And they're like,
but that's actually
Yeah.
it may not be related to the web series per se, but it's still related in a way.
it's related in a
because
way,
it's still
but
cinema.
it's like we do genre because we decided to do it. It's very rare, except for Guillermo del Toro, who does
Yeah.
genre. So they're like, "Oh, what happened to like the good stories, like Cuarón tells and everything? Now we're doing monsters like Hollywood and everything." We're like, we can't do anything about that, man.
But
Like,
at least
this
they
is
watch,
the-
though.
But
They
they
watch
watch the
it, so
show,
that's a good
like,
thing.
and if they took their time to complain,
Yeah,
We did
that's-
something
that's
right,
actually
yeah.
what I really like. I'm actually going for those bad comments.
You like them?
I really like them.
they're the best
because
ones,
that
they're the most
make-
interesting
that-
ones.
Because when people actually comment this bad, then they care about the thing. So in a way,
Yeah.
they will like it. Because there must be like a point why they comment.
I think what it is that they want to like it more than they do.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they
Because they care about
took the
it.
time,
Somehow.
yeah. And
Somehow.
sometimes the
Right.
comments are
Right.
weird,
Yeah.
but they feel like they want to like it.
I think this is why this is the biggest payoff for me thus far, because my series is unreleased. So I get to, number one, the huge sense of community. Like,
Yeah.
whenever I go to these things, number one, I was surprised at how supportive everyone was. I become more well-rounded as a filmmaker by sitting here and listening to this right here. Also, you guys just gave me a huge jump start on knowing what to expect when I finally do release my stuff, which is why you often catch me just sitting there listening. You know, I know what I think of my stuff, and I know what I think is going to happen, but the biggest part about coming with friends to me and being a part of these festivals is to sit back and listen and learn. I really need to hear these other perspectives. Like,
Ah, and you gotta grow thick skin for the public.
So
Yeah.
on the topic of learning, what have you guys learned so far from just being physically here and also being around other people who are doing the same things that you're doing and probably facing the same challenges that you're facing as content creators? So what have you learned from just being around here these past couple of days?
Yeah, for me, so I spent the last 5-10 years in Asia. So coming here is basically like reconnecting with European thinking, basically European mindsets, and also discovering who's on the market, what's on the market, and not on the market. Because in Asia you're used to being pretty shut up. Stuff like that. But I can reconnect now, so it's pretty cool.
Fredrik, what have you learned from being out here?
Yeah, I would say, for me, as I know there's a lot of creators, directors here, and
You're an actor?
Yeah, I'm the actor for our series, and except the great networking, it's interesting to hear other creators, directors who's behind the camera that I work with all the time, talking about their aspects, and taking it in and see, how can I work together with these people in the future?
There you go.
That's
you're
the
building
most important,
sustainable
I think.
relationships.
The network actually is number one for me.
So what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing right now, currently, as far as your series goes? And with I'm going to start with that one now. So one last question, and then we'll conclude the roundtable. So what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing right now?
the typical ones, and it ties into the last question you had as well, things that people can learn from watching this video right now, and the challenges we're facing are the same as the ones they're going to. It's still the David versus Goliath story, which is like studios versus indie. Studios are charging into web space really, really quickly, and that will intimidate people to the point where they don't even try. I mean, I felt that a little bit. I mean, I'm here in France with a project that cost me $700 and had 2 people.
Wow.
So that's a David versus Goliath, because I'm submitted to the streamies now, and I'm here, and some of these projects have funding from BBC America or BBC Worldwide, and I'm here, I'm holding my own with them. So I guess the number one lesson someone can learn, and the number one challenge is don't be intimidated. Those big entities are always going to be there, but still be determined to show that your skill alone and your innovation can put you on the same level with them. And I guess a personal challenge is still the insecurity of being a small crew. I think I may have come into this with less resources than most projects, but again, I'm here, and once again, no one makes me feel bad about it. Every single person who has asked me what my project is, I say it, and without fail, I really look forward to seeing it.
Wow.
And I mean, like, that makes it worthwhile right then and there, because I'm already done with my next project just off the boost, the morale boost from you guys at LA Web Fest. Like, that's hugely thanks to you guys.
And
You know what? Going back to the thing is, and it's weird because when you say what the challenges that we have, and the thing is, from going back from LA to this, it got easier because it did give you a boost. Like for us, yeah, it gave us confidence. We were thinking about not doing a second season for a show, and we go to LA and we see everybody how they like it. You know, because one thing is at home, but when you go to somewhere else where it's a different country and they're like, we really like what you're doing, and then you come here and it's even more diverse. And they're like, we really like it. They're like, well, I'm doing something right. It doesn't matter how I did it. Something is going on, and I did something right. So challenges, I wouldn't know what to say. This has been really motivating. The whole thing has been really motivating.
And it's also very interesting that, like, our series get more appreciated, get more appreciated outside Sweden than in Sweden. Web series are not that big yet in Sweden, but also interesting thing here are I spoke to major studios here, but none really has the form how to do this. It's not like films. Everything they know how to do it. The big studios have their Here it's different. We're even if they have more money, we're on the same level in some way because we are part of the process of finding a way to do this the best way.
So do you think that we have the advantage because we come from this medium? We are the ones that are like, we started, not really started, but we're pretty much early adopters of this medium. So in a way, I think we have an advantage.